As an institution, the BBC is just over 90 years old, which means that Nightingale feels comfortable enough around the wireless to have a digital radio in his bathroom. On this, he listens to Radio 4 while he's shaving. Presumably, he assumes that the presenters are still safely attired in evening dress while they tear strips off whatever politician has been offered up as early morning sacrifice on the Today programme, which is why he heard about the kids going missing before I did. This surprised him. "I was under the impression that you quite enjoyed the wireless first thing in the morning," he said, over breakfast, after I told him it was news to me. "I was doing my practice," I said. In the weeks following the demolition of Sky Garden Tower, with me on top of it, I'd been a key witness in 3 separate investigations, in addition to one by the Department of Professional Standards. I'd spent a great deal of each working day in interview rooms in various nicks around London, including the notorious 23rd floor of the Empress State Building, where the Serious Investigations branch of the DPS keeps its racks and thumbscrews. This meant that I'd gone into the habit of getting up early to do my practice and getting some time in the gym before heading off to answer the same bloody question 5 different ways. It was just as well, since I hadn't exactly been sleeping well since Leslie had tasered me in the back. By the start of August, the interviews had dried up, but the habit, and the insomnia, had stuck. "Has there been a request for assistance?" I asked. "With regard to the formal investigation, no," said Nightingale. "But where children are concerned, we have certain responsibilities." There were 2 of them, both girls, both aged 11, both missing from 2 separate family homes in the same village in North Herefordshire. The first 999 call had been at just after 9 o'clock the previous morning, and it first hit media attention in the evening when the girls' mobile phones were found at a local war memorial over 1,000 metres from their homes. Overnight it went from local to national, and, according to the Today programme, large-scale searches were due to commence that morning. I knew the Folly had national responsibilities in a sort of de facto, under-the-table way that nobody liked to talk about, but I couldn't see how that related to missing kids. "Regrettably, in the past," said Nightingale, "children were occasionally used in the practice of," he groped around for the right term, "unethical types of magic. It's always been our policy to keep an eye on missing child cases and, where necessary, check to make sure that certain individuals in the proximity are not involved." "Certain individuals?" I asked. "Hedge wizards and the like," he said. In Folly parlance, a hedge wizard was any magical practitioner who had either picked up their skills ad hoc from outside the Folly, or who had retired to seclusion in the countryside, what Nightingale called rusticated. We both looked over to where Varvara Sidorovna Tamonina, formerly of the 365th Special Regiment of the Red Army, was sitting at her table on the other side of the breakfast room, drinking black coffee and reading Cosmopolitan. Varvara Sidorovna, trained by the Red Army, definitely fell into the "and the like" category. But since she'd been lodging with us while awaiting trial for the last 2 months, she, at least, was unlikely to be involved. Amazingly, Varvara had appeared for breakfast before me, looking bright-eyed for a woman I'd seen put away the best part of 2 bottles of Stolly the night before. Me and Nightingale had been trying to get her drunk in the hope of pricing more information on the faceless man out of her, but we got nothing, except some really disgusting jokes, many of which didn't translate very well. Still, the vodka had knocked me out handily, and I got most of a night's sleep.